All right, class is in session. All right, I want to go over this. I'm doing in criminal cases to help men in their relationships, so we can do some after actions and show where men could have done something different, or show where someone was a beta male or a beta male provider met his demise and was victimized. Well, I was gonna do a video on this one, and I was brushing up for it, and it's basically he's a beta male, right? But after going over this, as I was brushing up, I was like, yeah, I kind of need to just demonstrate it from here instead of using the whole story. Use just the closing statements, because it's pretty clear. There are many examples, and I can offer much advice and much of my opinion on this. How he messed up, and we're going to go over things that you don't want to do and things to do differently, and how to improve yourself, your relationships, and yeah, we just can learn so much from this. So I'm going to go over it. This is the Dale Werner case. Just real quickly, Dale Werner married Dee Werner, and she wasn't really into him. He really had a loser personality. He's not much of a personality, but he was rich. He owned a farm, and it had a trucking company, and they also grew some stuff, but they had money, and she knew if she married him, she would have money, which she did. She ran the trucking company side of it, which was kind of the big business of it all. She liked to be a boss babe in that area, but she loved money, and she wouldn't have had it if she hadn't married him. She drove a Cadillac Escalade, and she also drove a Hummer, which both those vehicles are very nice and very expensive and burn lots of gas. They had a beautiful house. They had a beautiful farm. And she had, I think they had 3 or 4 kids. She had a younger child. But she was also, and I'm telling you this, guys, if you're the beta male provider, she was having an affair. Okay? And that's usually what will happen if you're the beta male provider. Women will always go to their hoo-ha or their vajayjay. That runs them. That's their default. And so many times, it's not all about sex. Well, if women weren't so controlled by that dang hoo-ha, I call it that now because some female dating coach calls it that. It's pretty good. But you got to be the alpha bang. And the dual mating strategy, you got to be alpha bang. This guy was not alpha bang, and he's doing all kinds of things to control her, and you can never control a woman. So let's start off with this. And I guess she was going to leave him. And the night they have the discussion, he decides to. I'm going to say he strangled her. They haven't really said, but he moves her. They have a discussion about breaking up, I guess, and he basically dumps her body into a tank on the farm, and it worked for a while. They didn't find her for a long time. I can't remember how they found her, but that was the excuse. That was the. That was that. I mean, once they found her, he got convicted. I think he's been given a life sentence, but yeah, he did it. I mean, but also, ladies, if there's any ladies, when you go to leave a relationship, that's the most dangerous time. That's when the beta males, and you beta males out there, stop doing that. You guys, when they lose control, stop being beta, first of all, become alpha. But when betas lose control, and that's when you're leaving them, that's when they're going to go most nutty, okay? And usually that's, when you're leaving them. So let's see what they got to say here.
Good morning. First, I just want to start by thanking you for your time and attention. Everybody's been listening to the evidence, taking notes, and paying attention. So I just want to thank you for doing that for the last couple of weeks. We're going to end where we started off. I want to talk about Dee Werner. We've heard a lot about Dee Werner over the last couple of weeks. She was loved by her children, by her brother. She was married at the time. We heard that she was also kind of difficult, right? She's a woman, she owned her own business.
That's not why she's difficult. Not because she's a woman. Not because she owns her. And this is what when they're not red pill or not. She was difficult because she married the beta male provider. Women know how to. I keep saying this in all my other videos. Women know how to behave, and they know how to misbehave. And she didn't like her husband. But she loved his money, and she admits to that. She admits to loving the money, and she admits to having conflict with that. So women, when they don't like who they're with, when you're beta male provider, they're disgusted by you at some point. If you're the alpha bang, they're never disgusted with you because they love who you are. They love your presence. So let's keep moving. But that's not because she was a business owner and a boss babe. That you can be a business owner and a boss babe, and you can still be daddy, keep shit. Chief shit, whatever.
Love her, at times you can hate her. But we've heard what an amazing mother and sister Dee Werner was. I'm going to go all the way back, starting in 2019. We've got evidence that from January 2019 through April 2021, Dale Werner checked Dee's location over 2,100 times.
April 19th. Let's see, January 2019 to April 2021. 2,100 times. First of all, you cannot control a woman. No matter how many times you try to control her, you will not control her. You could check it 80 million times. Let's say it's 4,200 times. Double it. You cannot control a woman. This is where he goes wrong. And that's what I'm gonna tell all y'all guys. And this happened in the Koenig case. He was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. And was there another one? But anyway, I can't off the top of my head. I know there's more, but my bottom line is the guys that go snooping, right? And the guys that try to control their ladies. You cannot. If you've got to this point, you are not the alpha bang guys, the alpha males. They don't do this. This is very beta behavior. It's weakness. And the fact that you think, and here's the problem: you're gonna go snooping, and you're gonna find some stuff that's benign, and some stuff that shows her guilt, and you're gonna get some of it confused. You're never gonna be right. You're gonna be behind the 8 ball all the time because you don't have real time information, and you're gonna snoop and find things you don't want to see, and you're gonna find things you can't unsee, and then you're gonna find things that you can't unsee that really drive you to this madness. It will drive you to any man. Take an off ramp, stop snooping, and get the divorce. If you have to do this to keep track of your girl, you're behind. Get out.
100 times. We knew during the course of that, they also took vacations. They worked together. 2,100 times.
That's way too much.
This was the application that was used to find that location. You'll see he had to go into it. He had to hit view more, vehicle locate.
Your wife wants someone that's better than her, and you always got to know you're better than your wife, and that's not bad to say that. Because your wife's always going to have options. She's always going to have people coming up to her, and she wants her man to be better than her. She wants her man to think he's better than her, and just that feeling alone, she'll kind of feel it too. And the fact of the matter is, who's ever following the other one is the loser. And I could say that, but who's ever following the other one is in the subordinate role. Who's ever being followed is higher status. You never should let your wife be higher status than you. You need to love her, but never should she doesn't want to be higher status than you. If you're following her, she knows she's higher status.
Bring up the map. When the FBI agent was here, he showed you a handful of maps that the defendant kept with his handwritten notes on them of where Dee was and what he thought she was doing.
Thought she was doing. You never know.
I heard from Brian Bush, who was the ex-son-in-law of Dee and Dale Werner. Brian Bush indicated that starting in 2019, Dale approached him and asked him to purchase this small safe on Amazon. And the point of that purchase was because he knew that Dee and Zach had a safe upstairs in Zach's bedroom and he believed there were documents in there, banking information in there. And he wanted to switch the safes out so that he could access that safe and see what was in it.
I mean, you should be King Daddy. Nobody hides anything from Daddy, and Mama knows that. You know, Mama knows no one hides anything from Daddy. If she's doing this stuff, she don't love you. Get out. I'm just showing you guys. These are your warning signs.
Just that safe on June 11th, 2019. He indicated it arrived at his home, and he took it and gave it to Dale so that Dale could switch out the safe. Brian Bush indicated that they purchased some trail cameras originally to keep an eye on the anhydrous ammonia on the property, but that Dale wanted them placed inside the home in a location where he could observe who's coming and going with documents that he thought were being placed in that safe. The defense.
If you think this stuff is going on and you think that cameras in your house are going to prevent anything, no. If you think financial documents are leaving your house, you need to exit that marriage. You need to get out as quickly as possible. You need to get with whoever you need to get to, with an attorney or somebody, and protect your finances. You'll never, but cameras inside your house, this is asinine. This is, this is just, it's crazy talk. It's irrational. But it's also shows beta that this guy knows what he should do, but he's not doing it. He knows he needs to leave this lady. You gotta know.
And Brian Bush, a number of text messages, places for cameras.
It's just becoming more dysfunctional.
And this final picture is where Brian indicated that camera was placed, where that would have a direct view of the door of people coming in and coming out.
That's nutball.
He also indicated that on January 9th, 2020, he
more
purchased a
nutball
GPS tracker off of Amazon at Dale's request.
Once again, you're trying to follow people. Again, you'll never be able to follow people enough to know what they're doing. You'll never be able to control them enough to know what they're doing. And if you're in this mode, you are behind. You need to get out. If you ever think about following your girl, if you ever think about snooping on your girl, you need to get out. Your relationship is extremely unhealthy, and you're in a very dangerous spot. No snooping.
Dale asked him to purchase this tracker so he could find out where the Hummer had been going, because Dee's vehicle was seen parked at Meyer for too long, and he didn't know what she was doing, if she was having an affair. So Brian Bush purchases this in early 2020. Dee finds it in the middle of 2020. She has Dustin Lally and Raquel come over.
Okay, now his wife's found the tracking device. Now you disgusted her. Now she knows she's higher status than you. You're only driving her apart, and you'll hear her tell him, "You're driving me away."
They removed that device from her vehicle. During the course of using that device, Brian Bush put that app on his phone, and he would locate the vehicle anytime Dale asked, "Where is that vehicle at?" During the course of his numerous interviews, the defendant indicated that, no, that wasn't a tracker. That was a diagnostic tool I used in there. I only wanted to diagnose it. She thought I was tracking her. She was pissed.
Yeah, beta male behavior, lying. You gotta lie now. Yeah, he was tracking her, and it's disgusting to a woman. You're just gonna lose respect if you get to this point trying to follow a woman. Coming from me, who I've been involved, not following a girl, but wanting to know where she's at. Yeah, this was back when I was in high school, 1994. And I would go by her house. That's what I learned. You can't do it. They'll always get away with something.
Brian Bush said, "Sure, we were going to diagnose it, but the sole reason that he purchased that he wanted me to purchase that, was to track that Hummer." We learned that Dale Werner asked Kyle Wagner, the IT guy, to clone Dee's phone. He wanted the messages, the calls, the emails. He wanted the contents of her phone.
Look how irrational this is getting. And he still didn't prevent her from having an affair. I mean, it's unbelievable. And, you know, just absolutely ridiculous. And money and status, what's more important, looks, money, or status? Well, once again, we see she has plenty of money and with Dale Werner. And her name is Dee Werner. They're married. Doesn't prevent her from cheating. She had an Escalade. She had a beautiful house. She had a Hummer as well. She had a nanny and a beautiful family. Yet none of that prevented her from cheating. Alpha Bang is where it's at, boys. The beta male provider. No, you get this kind of behavior and trying to follow her, and it doesn't matter. She'll do what she wants to do. Every woman's going to do what she wants to do. You just need to be that guy that she wants to do it with.
He took 90 photos of Dee's text with her son Zach, which were created to his account in December of 2019. So in December of 2019, he put those 90 photos on his device. The relationship continued to be nasty. Was not good.
And a woman's not nasty to a man she loves and a man she respects. If a relationship is nasty, your woman has fallen out of love with you. Get out. You can try to repair it. The only way you can try to repair it is to get leadership back. You know, be ready to burn everything down figuratively, and get in the gym, get sexy, be fuckable. You know, start running crap around your house, take over the finances, start telling her what to do, start being assertive, start banging her a lot if she wants you to, you know, and that's the only way. Otherwise, you're done. You're done.
August of 2020, you want to treat me like I've done something wrong. You're the one who shouldn't be stalking me. You shouldn't be putting trackers on me and recording me. Remember what Dale Werner said during one of his interviews when he was asked, does Dee know you're tracking her with OnStar? I don't know, probably. Like, no big deal. I mean, husbands and wives do it all the time, right? She knew that he was stalking her and she wanted it to stop.
Yep.
February 18th, 2021. I see your
stalking again. Think about why you want to keep doing this. You're not happy, and you're making it hard to be here. Correct. You want to be angry at me, but you don't see that the way you treat me is going to continue to push me away from you. See what I say, guys? Think about how you flip out at me about this little stupid shit and wonder why I have nothing to say to you. See, yeah. You must see yourself doing this because you will realize it and stop doing it for a while. I'm not going to Craig because I'm the one that's making the effort. All you're doing is finding fault. It's never your fault. Well, that's what she's saying. A little bit of gaslighting in there, but I'm sure. But at the end of the day, you know, you acting like a little bitch, and a woman needs to be following you. A woman needs to be begging for you, you know. And you acting like a little woman here. You know, flipping out and, you know, getting all mad, and she knows you're not happy and following her around. It's going to push her away, disgust her.
Think about why.
Go forward.
I want to show you something. And it's not going to be a nice photograph, okay?
So supposedly he was physically assaulting her.
Going up. She said, we're done. I'm selling everything. I'm done with the marriage. She had been telling him, things have to change. Things have to change. And they weren't changing.
If a woman tells you that, she is not respecting you. She is checked out from you. You have little chance that things will get better. The only way that things will get better is you got to earn her respect is commanded, not demanded. And you got to figure out how to do that. You got to figure out how to get her respect back. Okay? But if she's saying stuff like this, you're done. Get out. There's plenty of women out there. Don't worry about, you can burn crap down. I've already said on plenty of other videos, I burnt all my stuff down and got it all back. So you can't be scared. Fear is your enemy.
Amber indicated that yes, her mom had talked about divorce before, but she had never seen her like this. April 24th, 2021, the same day, Raquel sees Dee. She sees her mom distraught. Again, my mom has talked about divorce before. I've never seen her like this. This time was different. She was quiet. She was tired. She was going to tell him that night that she wanted a divorce, that she was selling the trucking company, and she was leaving. I want to remind you of what the property looked like. We've heard a lot about the property. You guys went out and looked at the property. It's pretty big property.
I forgot. JC, I went this way. I forgot some of my money in the house. Great. I didn't like forgot my tools and everything on this. So. I pulled out and I did this and I grabbed it, went out and went back around.
So you see him at 7 a.m. when he takes the JCB out of the dry fertilizer barn. But you can't see him on surveillance go up to the house or drive away from the house. Again, every single statement, because she was in there on the couch when I came back in. Now remember, after Dale talks about bringing the JCB up to the front, he's asked about the Hummer. There. And Dee moved the Hummer, but she was sleeping. How can he park the JCB there? Those two things cannot be true at the same time. And he can't pull the
Nice
JCB
house.
up to that door if the Hummer's in his way. The defendant then leaves the property at 7:48 a.m. to go spraying. He returns at approximately 8:12 a.m. The first time he leaves that morning is about 7:46, and he returns at 8:12. 8:47, he leaves the property again to go spraying in Brooklyn. Onstead. Between 9 and 9:30 that morning, Raquel, Dustin, and their kids arrived for breakfast. It was common for them to show up on a Sunday morning. Again, why Dale had to get her body out of that house right now and hide it. Both cars were there, both of Dee Werner's cars were there, and they noticed that the Hummer, again, was at the office. They can't find Dee. They make breakfast, they clean up, and Raquel texts her mom, "Where are you?" No response. So they begin searching for her. Raquel and Dustin go back to their house. They call her. All of their calls are going to voicemail. They return back to the Munger farm around 10 a.m. Raquel looks around the office. She thinks maybe her mom and Dale are down there fighting because she sees the Hummer and she doesn't want Lena to be around that. So they go to the office. No sign of her mom there. Raquel and Dustin then check at the Hardys, Shelley and Greg Hardy. They then go to the Cedar Point property with Shelley. Raquel, Dustin, and Shelley then return to Munger, and they still can't find Dee. Raquel calls Amber, Zach, TJ, and Stephanie, and nobody knows where Dee is. But at 10:31, Stephanie calls Dale. "Where's Dee?" Nobody can find her. He says, I'm surprised that she's calling. Nobody should be there. But I tell her that she was sleeping on the couch. Again, remember, the last time Dale Werner leaves the property is 8:47 a.m. to go spraying. Milestone. The security surveillance footage app on his phone accesses the cameras at 8:49:08 a.m., 8:49:09 a.m., 8:49:39 a.m., and 9:04:07 a.m. Find My iPhone, 8:48:42 a.m., 10:28:48 a.m. Why is Dale accessing the My Cadillac app, the Milestone, and Find My iPhone? And this was from one of the interviews that was a little bit quiet, and we've got the volume maxed up, so I'm going to try to play this portion for you.
And when you access the cameras, what were you looking for? Yeah, when you did access the cameras, what were you looking for? That's a silly question, but well, there was actually no doubt you accessed the cameras that morning. I just asked you what you were looking for. It's a silly. Again, we're trying to do the sheriff's department, so we can see you explain to each other. There's actually no doubt you access the cameras. If you're just looking for your wife, then just say you're just looking for your wife. I understand. I was looking for my wife, but I didn't access the security camera. You didn't access it on your phone, right? Yes, it will work. It would not work. Okay, so when you tried to access the cameras, what were you doing? I was looking to see who was in the office and videos on the cameras. Okay, so you're just looking for the call, trying to get looking for the, see where she's at, but I really figured she's his ex-house. Okay, and that's specifically from your phone as you're pretending to be a friend. Okay, and is that, I think it's called milestone. Is that an act you typically have problems with? I'm not familiar with it. Is it? Yes. Okay. What are you supposed to do when you turn the app? You're supposed to go see the cameras and see what's going on. Okay.
Before.
Because if the kids called and said they can't find their mom, I'm going to check, see if it's in the garage. Same thing with Find My iPhone. I was just finding her location. We know from Kyle Wagner, the IT guy, that Dale Werner needed to get that updated the next day because they got a new IP address and he had to put that in so that camera would start working again on his phone. So we know he wasn't able to access it, but he wanted to see what was on that camera. And he wasn't looking for his wife at those times, at 8:45, 8:49, 8:48, because he didn't know she was missing until 10:30. Find My iPhone. When that phone dies at 7:14 a.m., and you want to make sure that that phone can't be found again, Find My iPhone. Can I find the location? Can I see it? The defendant returns to the Munger farm around 11:18 a.m. Dale goes to the office. He tells Zach and TJ, oh fuck, she left her ring. And he pulls out a $35,000 to $40,000 ring from his pocket, or from his hand. She left this on my desk. Dale then goes into the house and talks to Raquel in the main bedroom. Dale says that these personal items are gone. Her phone, her go bag, her makeup bag, her curling iron, her hairspray. What else does he say to Raquel that morning? Everything I've worked for is gone. We barely fought last night. I gave her a massage.
All these beta males giving massages and having sex with their wives the last day before they are missing. You know, how lame, you know. But yeah, you can't control them, dude.
And I asked her if she still loved me.
Well, I already told you she didn't, you know, why, and that's so stupid. He's asking that. You already knew when you were tracking her a long time ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Well, I told Dee, you know, through sickness and in health,
Ha!
for richer, for poor, and I read her her vows. Again.
That's beta male control, by the way. Just because she said vows, women fall in love with you for how you make them feel. Once again, and they don't, and let me correct that. Women don't fall in love with you. They fall in love with how you make them feel. They fall in love with you with how you make them feel. Also, law of power. Appeal to people's self-interest, not to their mercy or gratitude. Going back to your vows is a beta male behavior. It's why a lot of beta male men get married and they want their wives to honor their vows, but they don't understand that wives don't honor vows. They honor their feelings way more than their vows. Understand that? Play the game accordingly.
Known to take off for a night or two, go stay at Zach's house, stay in communication with everybody. She never fell off the face of the earth. The kids wanted to call the police. They had never experienced this before. Out of all the time
Move forward.
gone on. Dale says, we never had the selling everything conversation. She brought it up. But he told her, it's not your decision. And he said they never talked about divorce.
Ha!
She wanted to escalate, but I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, right.
After a number of days, Dale's statement is always, Dee's gone for a day or two. She'll be back.
All right, let's move forward. Lion-ass beta.
Does some searches on the Munger property where they sees those journals and the writings, which are all, the loose leaf pages are contained within all those documents. August 2022, state police take over the investigation. Detective Dreer testified that they did essentially a large-scale search in May of 23 where they searched approximately 3,000 acres. You're talking farmland, woods, swamps, rivers, creeks.
They found her in a tank.
Information from the FBI. There's pages and pages of Dale's handwriting. Take that tag and look at it. See the N's? Compare the N's, compare the F's. You go back there and look at it and decide. The next thing that detectives do is consult an expert welder, Justin Schmidt. And we heard from Justin. That tank end was cut off with an abrasive cutoff wheel. How does he know that? Photographs from inside the tank, where you saw the shredding. An object such as a hook was welded to the top of the end cap to hold it up. Whoever welded that tank likely attached a chain to the hook. To line the end back up in order to weld it, something would be needed to cradle underneath. Here at 1251, we're in the old shop. Angle grinder and discs. $114. The old shot? Ah, the hooks.
Look what being a beta male got you doing. Putting your wife, look what it got you doing. Putting your wife in a tank to hide. I mean, this is just beta. I mean, look how beta you are, dude. And you're going to get caught. I mean, you got to get out. Be man enough. Be alpha enough to get out of a relationship. If you're in a sexless relationship, if you're in a relationship where your wife is not respecting you, she don't love you no more, get out. I mean, this right here is showing you. You don't follow her. You don't snoop. And if your wife is having an affair, get the F out. You never can follow a woman enough. You can never control a woman. She has to do it because she wants to do it.
1:15, he starts to walk out. Forgot something. Chain. After Dee's body is found, the police go back and look at evidence from Tuesday. What do we have? Jason Gravel. 5 o'clock, Jason Gravel moves old rusty tank 8. Dale says, go move a tank from out back for me by the burn pile, take it and put it in the spray barn. This is after the police were there earlier in the day. And they said, and Dale says to him, come back tomorrow or whenever. I mean, if you let me know, you can come back, but you can't be here today. So, Gravel goes to move tank 8 at the request of the defendant to put that in there so he can work on it.
I'm sorry, side door. I'll explain everything to you. It is for the dogs, the drone thing, so basically what we saw earlier. As of right now, we're not going in your house. We already went through there. So it's just a matter of the dogs just completely, let's see. My recorder's going right now. It wasn't for a second. It's going right now, so the whole thing will be recorded. If you want to come home, you absolutely can. If you don't want to come home, you don't need to. As far as what we're going to do. Yeah, drone, that's exactly it. Yeah, the dogs, one dog's here already, the other dog is, I think, about 20 minutes.
He's told this, that it's tank 34. Listen closely to him say that's not good. And if you want to take, again, you're going to get this exhibit. If you want to take it back there and listen to it because you can't hear it, please do.
And tank number 34 is what they're searching on.
Tank number 34?
Yeah, I don't know what the specifics of that is or what, but like this is idiocracy. Yeah. So we took that tank and now they're x-rays, they're doing x-rays, cutting it at least some ways sometimes. Yeah.
Then he asked Sharon, is that the tank that we painted and put new decals on? Not one of the tanks is that the tank that we painted and put new decals on? Or her missing, you didn't think that was important to share? Not on the 21st and not on the 23rd does he check her location. You'll see a big gap on there, March 4th to March 22nd. In his journal, March 5th, they leave for Florida. They return on the 21st. He doesn't need to track her. She's with him. I've talked a lot and I'm sorry. This is important. For both sides. Elements of first degree murder.
All right, we'll leave it there. But anyway, more of the lessons were up front. You cannot control your woman. If your woman loves you and you're king daddy, she will not be difficult. She was difficult. They said it. You cannot follow your woman enough. If you're in a sexless marriage, if she's having an affair like she was here, if she's not, if you, like I said, if she's having difficulty, she does not respect you, she does not love you. And if she does not respect you and does not love you, I keep repeating this, you are in danger, okay? If you are in a sexless marriage, she doesn't love you. Women have sex with men they like, okay? And they love to have sex. What else was there? And then this could be anybody. And that frustration of not being able to control a woman, that frustration of not being respected by a woman, it drove him to this. It could be any man. He didn't have the strength to get out. Have the strength to get out of a bad relationship. It's not that big a deal. All right? All right, we'll see you on the next one. There's many more women out there that will treat you right. We'll see you on the next one.